So the saga of Austin St. John and his Hitler shirts has come to a close, for now. So if you're unaware of this story, I'll try and give you the quick rundown. On February 26, 2024, Jim Cummings, known for being the voice of Winnie the Pooh and several other characters, featured Austin St. John on his podcast, Tuned In. Near the end of the podcast, Austin St. John said he's got a new clothing line that he'll be releasing, and it will feature famous quotes from historical warriors, and Austin had this to say.
So I have some Ranger-oriented clothes, and then I'm building a warrior line where I will go back in history, from pre-Greek days as far back as I can. I'm going to have famous quotes from warriors of all ilks, including the terrible ones.
Wow.
Hitler was, a demon on steroids, but he had some pretty good one-liners.
What are we doing?
So everybody from the great ones to the infamous and terrible ones. And I'm going to have quotes in their languages put up in Japanese, English, Russian, Greek, whatever it was.
Wow.
And then in English, and I'm going to have some kanji kana done and some various other artwork.
On March 12, 2024, this clip began to pick up steam online as it was passed around in the Ranger community. Now, if you haven't been paying attention online in the past couple of years, controversy has known to follow Austin St. John. In 2022, he was arrested for COVID wire fraud, and to this day, he's still awaiting trial for it. Recently, at the start of 2024, he platformed Jason David Frank's son, Jacob Frank, where through some online digging, it was discovered that Jacob Frank had been charged for sexual assault on minors, and that's probably only the tip of the iceberg when it comes to the many other controversies that Austin has found himself within the fandom. But this story really took off when Amy Jo Johnson, known for playing the original Pink Ranger, threw some shade at him and did some subtweeting, and these posts took off and went viral, so much that it made Entertainment Weekly, and that's where this story with Austin St. John started to get some mainstream attention. Now, for the entire month, we heard absolutely nothing but radio silence from Austin St. John, and it was mostly his online team answering the questions in public. The infamous one that took off was the gaslighting by claiming that Austin St. John never mentioned Hitler in the video, and you'd be surprised to be included in the merch line once it reveals. Not only that, his online team was deleting comments and blocking anyone who brought up the recent controversy or asking him about the Hitler shirt, so his online team was trying to do damage control and sweep everything under the rug by acting like nothing actually happened. Almost an entire month goes by and we don't hear anything until April 3rd. Austin St. John has launched his new clothing line with a video he posted on all his social medias and not a Hitler shirt inside. Not only that, Austin was also claiming that he had gotten nothing but overwhelming support about his upcoming new line of merch, and anything or any stories about the Hitler clothing line or the Hitler merchandise was made up and it was fabricated, although that clip is still out there online and it's available for you to watch it. Alright, so he finally released his new clothing line and there wasn't a Hitler shirt in sight. That doesn't take away the fact that he went on Jim Cummings' podcast and promoted the idea. I've heard so many fans trying to defend his actions here, but you have to remember, this was probably his idea to begin with, and if he didn't get any pushback or didn't find himself in controversy, I'm sure he would have gone through with it. One fan got to interview Austin, who was Jewish, and asked if he was going to do it or not. And Austin's response wasn't a yes or no, and it was a wait until the site drops and you'll see what's there.
And it was this weird thing of like, I kept bringing it up because for me, I kept waiting to hear, and I don't know why, because you're never going to make somebody say the things you want them to say, right? Like, and so I was just like, but you're not going to put Hitler on a shirt, right? And he's like, all will be revealed when the line comes out. And I was like,
oh my God, I couldn't even tell you no. I couldn't tell you no.
So like, I never got a straight no.
Speaking of what's there, well, I had a look at the brand new merch store that dropped from Austin St. John, and to be honest, his shirts look kind of garbage. Very generic, very boring, very bland. I mean, if you like walls of text on a shirt, well, that might be up your alley. But to be honest, I feel like these shirts are very dog shit looking in my opinion. I was thinking there'd be like a cool graphic behind it or something, but no, it's generic text on the front, nothing on the back, and that's about it. So yeah, If you want to pay $25 for a quote on a shirt, well, go right ahead. You could probably make yourself the same kind of shirt, but much cheaper, and in the comfort of your own home. Going back to the Jewish fans, I feel like Austin St. John should at least make some kind of apology to those fans, or the fans in general, that he upset, because if Hitler actually went through with his plans, I'm sure Austin St. John wouldn't have many of those fans here today, or even his fellow castmates who would carry on the Power Rangers legacy that wouldn't be here today. And I know what some of you guys are thinking, well, he didn't actually release any Hitler shirts, he didn't actually go through with the idea, but the damage is still there from that clip surfacing of him pitching the idea and tossing it around on the Jim Cummings podcast, and instead of Austin St. John owning up to it or apologizing or manning up to his mistake, he actually just ended up deleting comments, blocking people, and acting like it was never said. I mean, as I'm recording this video right now, several people in the Ranger community have been blocked by Austin St. John on social media, which is crazy. I'm probably next on the list once this video drops. So what are my overall thoughts on this situation? Well, I don't think it's going to kill Austin St. John's career completely. He's recently been announced for Power Morphicon and several other conventions, but things could change with his upcoming trial, and although there have been many fans and actors who have chosen to boycott the conventions because of his appearance, there are many fans who aren't aware of Austin St. John's controversies, or they just simply don't care. And those fans who aren't aware or they don't care, they'll be the ones lining up at his booth at conventions. Now, I've always been able to separate the actor from the character, but when it's someone who you've met and they played a character that you looked up to when you were a kid, and they had a huge inspiration on your life, well, it does suck to see them like this. Now, I'm not sure if this video will be my last video on this situation. I only wanted to make 3 videos on it, a beginning, a middle, and an end, but we'll find out if this story continues, and we'll see what becomes of it in the nearby future. So, if you want to see what happens next, well, tune in and subscribe to the channel. I'll see you guys in the next video.